Alright, so today we're going to be replacing the clock spring on my 2015 International ProStar. My horn is not working, and the lights on these switch pads are not working as well, because the harness on the clock spring, those wires are busted. So we're going to change the clock spring. I got a new clock spring right here. This is the part number for the clock spring. All right, so we're going to get this installed. All right, so let's take off this cover here. And that is the clock spring down in here. Can't really see it, but it's back there. We're going to take off this. We're going to take off this nut. Then we're going to use a puller, and we're going to pull off the steering wheel. All right, let's take this connector off. Put the cover to the side. All right, so we're going to use this 32mm socket. It might be a 31 because it feels a little sloppy, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, I think it's a 31. I think I need a breaker bar. I don't think I brought none with me. Nope, I didn't bring a breaker bar. Oh, we got it. We got it. We need an adapter. Voila. Okay. Now we're going to get a puller. Now I have two style of puller. I have this puller here. This one is a little bent from my previous work job. Well, not previous, but probably like 2 years ago this got bent, but I was still using it, do other pulling stuff. But I got another one here. I think I'm going to use this one here. Yeah, we're going to need some washers. I'm gonna double up the washers. That one go there. Yep, these are the right fit. So I'm gonna double up this one as well. Take this one out. All right, so this middle piece got to go in here, and these two screws got to go in these two holes. So let's line up the middle. Let's tighten this down. let's take this wrench and start turning. That was it. I'm gonna really need to. I think this zip tie right here is what was putting a lot of resistance on this harness. When you turn it, the zip tie was holding it back, and that's why these wires was, I'm thinking that's why those wires was chewed up. All right, so we got the harness out. All right, so this is the clock spring. So now, yeah, I think we're gonna have to take this plastic piece off to get to these screws. There's some screws right here. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, but it's hidden by the plastic. So we're gonna have to move this plastic piece off. Okay, so to get this plastic piece off, we're gonna have to remove this screw right here, and 3 screws are right here under the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And there's another screw over here as well, right here, in this little groove right here. And they look like Torx bits. So let's get some Torx bit out. All right, so we gotta use a T20. So we're gonna use a T20 over here at the side. All right, so got that piece off. Just gonna put this up here. Now we can get to these screws on the clock spring. And I think it's the same Torx bit as the one that hold the plastic piece off we just took off. So all right, now we're going to take this harness clip off. There she is. All right, let's get the new clock spring. All right, so this is the new clock spring. All right, so let's just clean this off a little bit. Yeah, this is all I have right now. So the bag in the box, it got some new screws too, and as well as a manual. Got this little manual here. But it's telling you how to pull it off, how to use the puller and stuff like that. All right, so now we're going to put in the clock spring. Alright, so the harness is snapped in place, and now we're going to put the screws in. I think I'm gonna use the new screws that came with the clock spring. Alright, so there are a torque spec for these. So it says tighten the screws, torque them to 15 through 35 inch-pounds. Alright, so I just put the clock spring on, and I just break the seal right here. This seal comes from the factory. It's like a tamper seal, and it's like an alignment seal, because this clock spring have to be in a certain position so it can function correctly when you put on the steering wheel and you start to turn and stuff like that. All right, now we're going to put on the top and the bottom cover. All right, so now I'm going to put on back the steering wheel. Make sure this clip right here goes in the bottom of the steering wheel, in this hole right here. You got to align this clip in here. All right, so let's put on the steering wheel back. We're gonna feed the harness in that hole right there, and we're gonna just make sure the clip goes in that hole. Now I'm gonna peep on the bottom and make sure that clip is lined up. Alright guys, so I just realized I left my torque wrench by the house, so I gotta go back to the house. By the time I come back, it's gonna be a little bit dark outside, but we're still gonna get this completed. Okay, now we're gonna torque the steering wheel column nut. We're gonna torque it down to 660 through 720 inch-pound. But I have a torque wrench, and I'm going to do it in foot-pound. I have a little calculator on my phone, a torque calculator. 60 foot-pound should be perfect. So I'm going to use my torque wrench here. That's it. All right, so let's put on back this cover. check our horn. Horn is working. Let's turn on the lights. We're going to check these here. And the lights are working. See that? Lights are working. Alright guys, so that's how you install your clock spring on your 2015 International ProStar. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.